Deep in Dino Hollow, where mist curled like sleepy snakes and tall trees whispered old secrets, lived Richard the Rex, a young dinosaur who kept to himself and longed for something more than just shadows and silence. Though his teeth were sharp and his roar could shake treetops, Richard preferred whispering to the fireflies and daydreaming by his window, clutching an old, flickering lantern that once belonged to his grandfather. Every evening, he'd light the lantern and imagine it guiding lost travelers through the fog. Brave souls on quests, daring rescues, and quiet acts of kindness that turned into legends. But no one ever came through Dino Hollow, not really. Just the mist and the owls and sometimes the distant echo of thunder. Richard felt too big, too loud, and too odd to fit anywhere outside his own little den. Then, one rainy dusk, a strange noise rippled through the fog. Not thunder, not owls, but a tiny, trembling cry. Richard froze, clutching his lantern tight, heart pounding in his enormous chest. Curiosity battled fear. His claws trembled as he tiptoed outside, the lantern's glow bobbing with each careful steps. The sound came again, clearer now. A voice, calling faintly for help. He followed the cry past the berry bushes and down the muddy creek path, where the fog thickened like soup. Trees loomed like giants, but Richard pressed on, lanterned high and courage rising. At the edge of the hollow, where few dared to tread, he found a small clearing, and there, tangled in vines and frightened stiff, was a baby pteranodon, no older than a chick, shivering in the cold. Richard knelt low, trying not to look scary. His voice was soft, gentle, more like a lullaby than a roar. "It's all right," he said. "I've got you. Let's get you home." The pteranodon stared up with wide, watery eyes. Richard used his teeth carefully to snap the vines free and nestled the little one in the crook of his warm tail for the walk back. Fog swirled thick as whipped cream, and the path home vanished beneath their feet. Richard's lantern dimmed, sputtering in the damp air, but he held it high, its flickers stubborn and true. Along the way, Richard hummed softly, a tune his mother once sang. The baby snuggled close, safe in the warmth of a creature once feared by many, now protector of one. Thunder rolled overhead, low and long. Rain began to fall, but Richard pressed on, eyes on the distant flicker of his own den's window, like a lighthouse in the dark. By the time they reached shelter, both were soaked and shivering, but the little one had stopped crying. Richard set her down gently, wrapped her in dry leaves, and placed the lantern beside her. He shared berries and warm moss. The baby chirped, soft and grateful. Richard's heart swelled, not with pride, but with peace. A quiet knowing that he'd done something good. Morning arrived with golden light slicing through the mist. The baby chirped happily and flapped her wings, stronger now. Richard watched her wobble and laugh, feeling something new inside. Hope. Word of Richard's rescue spread through the woods like wildfire. Not all dinos believed it. A Rex, gentle and kind, but the birds knew. And the squirrels whispered, and the hollow buzzed with the tale. Creatures began leaving gifts at his den. Shiny pebbles, glowing mushrooms, even songs. Richard blushed each time but treasured every offering like treasure from a king. Though he still wandered the hollow alone sometimes, now he wasn't lonely. He was known. The lantern stayed lit longer. The mist didn't seem so thick, and the world felt just a little more open. The baby pteranodon, they called her Luna, visited often, flying in tight circles over Richard's head and landing with a squeak of joy. They'd share berries and watch the sunset side by side. Richard never boasted. He still spoke softly and moved carefully. But when new cries came from the fog, and they did, others followed his lantern's glow, trusting it to lead the way. He became the silent guardian of Dino Hollow. Not by force, but by kindness. His legend grew not from battles, but from rescues and warmth, and the brave act of caring when no one else did. And though Richard never left the hollow, the world came to him. Stories, friends, dreams fulfilled. His days filled with purpose, and his nights glowed with lantern light and firefly songs. So now, if you ever walk the foggy woods and see a warm flicker in the distance, don't be afraid. It might just be Richard the Rex, still guiding the lost with a soft heart and a steady flame.